This video was brought to you by Skillshare. The first 1,000 people to join with the link in the description will get 2 free months on their premium membership. Robots are both fascinating and scary. The idea that they can be exponentially better than humans in many aspects and eventually become a threat is just unsettling, but they can also lead to solving critical problems for humanity and enhance our lives in ways that we may not even imagine. Artificial intelligence already optimizes many regular activities of everyday people. We interact with it mostly through our beloved devices, and it is responsible for a lot of how we experience the internet today. Now, the new generations of AI-powered robots are facing us with the future and are truly mind-blowing. With them, AI is taking shape in the physical world more regularly and in more polished ways. Robots you may see killing humans in recent Netflix shows look a lot like robots that are available in the market. Yes, you may have seen that Black Mirror episode where a robotic dog hunts people, and you may notice the uncanny resemblance with Spot, the newest robot from Boston Dynamics. The similarity probably doesn't mean anything other than a creative license from the creators of the show, but the truth is that forward-thinking companies like Boston Dynamics are bringing robots into our lives sooner than we probably expected. So here starts Company Forensics, Boston Dynamics. This is the company responsible for Big Dog, the quadruped robot that appeared in this sort of haunting video that the world saw for the first time around 10 years ago. It was built for the military to assist the infantry in terrains too tough for vehicles, but it was then put down. Hello, Spot. A few more robots and a couple of acquisitions later, and they are now responsible for Spot, the new dog-type robot that took the internet by storm recently. It is available on the market for $75,000, and it brings a lot of fascination, some answers, and probably a lot more of wondering about the future. Spot is an impressive blend of engineering and artificial intelligence, capable of some autonomy to move around, interacting with the environment. It is controlled remotely, but can also be programmed, and it makes smart decisions while moving around, like avoiding running into objects even if pushed to do so. According to TechCrunch, companies like Ford are already planning to try Spot for things like scanning warehouses, one of many tasks that robots like Spot can optimize. Yes, we may talk about robots replacing humans later, but spoiler alert, it is gonna happen. Spot is the most significant effort from Boston Dynamics to expand beyond research and development and bring innovation to the consumer market. This may be the first step in a new direction for the company under the wing of Softbank, the Japanese giant. We've talked about them. MIT Military Robots. Mark Rybert is the brain behind the company, and it all started as a spin-off from MIT in 1992. As it often happens with cutting-edge technology, Boston Dynamics was first funded by military agencies like the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA. Big Dog was created in 2004, and it was deemed the world's most ambitious legged robot by then. It was capable of moving 340 pounds at 4 miles per hour alongside walking soldiers. Its 4 legs made it more versatile than wheeled vehicles to cross tough terrain. Supposedly, it was dismissed for being too loud for combat scenarios. They also worked on other contracts, such as replacing naval training videos with interactive 3D computer simulations for the Naval Air Warfare Center Training Systems Division. Google gets into robots. In late 2013, the company was acquired by Google on an undisclosed deal. It was the cherry on top for Google because they had acquired another 7 robot-focused companies and startups in just a few months. It all looked like Google was ramping up on robotics. A big plan required a great leader, so Andy Rubin was put in charge of this robotic division. Rubin is, among many things, one of the main brains behind Android, largely credited for its massive resources. It all looked like an exciting future for Google was just beginning. They planned that Rubin would lead this moonshot. He said to the New York Times in those days, "Like any moonshot, you have to think of time as a factor. We need enough runway and a 10-year vision." But things took an unexpected turn when he left the company in 2014, just shortly after the acquisitions and the optimistic plans, due to allegations of sexual misconduct from at least 2 employees of the company, according to a report from the New York Times. It was certainly a low blow for Google's plans on robotics, and things don't seem to have taken any clear direction since then. From Google to SoftBank. The team at Boston Dynamics had continued to honor some of the ongoing contracts with government agencies and remained oriented towards the longer-term future. They continued working on robots like the anthropomorphic Atlas or Wildcat, a fast-running robot. Google, on the other hand, had expressed their reluctancy to be a military contractor and reportedly struggled to fit the company into a revenue generation plan. There was no consent when it came to the direction Boston Dynamics should take, and Google ended up putting it up for sale. There was speculation that Amazon or Toyota would be interested in buying it, but in early 2017, the Japanese Goliath, Softbank, acquired it as part of the group's long-term focus in robotics. Softbank is a Tokyo-based multinational business conglomerate, owner of stakes in many tech, energy, and financial companies. It also runs the Vision Fund. That's the world's largest technology-focused venture capital fund. It's around $100 billion, and it's a fantastic source of content for our company Forensics series. The founder and CEO, Masayoshi Son, said about the acquisition, "Smart robotics are going to be a key driver of the next stage of the information revolution, and the team at Boston Dynamics is a clear technology leader in advanced dynamic robots." They seemed like a great fit. Softbank already had some success with Pepper, a smart robot that gently interacts with people and can be helpful in many ways. You may have heard or seen hotels and other establishments employing robots like Pepper for customer interactions. Spot is the first product of their symbiosis with Boston Dynamics, and Mark Rybert has suggested that the robot handle is probably next. It mixes a leg wheel motion system, and in the latest iterations, it has been optimized for warehouse tasks. Rybert said on a TechCrunch interview that they estimate there are around 1 trillion cubic foot boxes being moved around the world every year, and most of it is not automated, posing a huge opportunity for this product. All that work that is yet to be automated is still mostly done by humans driving cranes or other vehicles. You may see where this is going. Will robots replace us? This is the question that jumps into any conversation about robots. The debate is still open and experts have different takes on it. However, reality keeps moving at its own pace and some industries and jobs are already being impacted. According to a CNBC report, studies suggest that 670,000 US jobs were lost between 1990 and 2007, and the number was expected to grow faster as technologies continue pushing forward. To some extent, robots are already replacing human productivity. Take the truck transportation industry, for example. It is a $1 million business and employs millions of people. Self-driving trucks are already working, and the AI is getting so good that no assistant driver will be required soon. Jobs that consist mostly of repetitive tasks with predictable outcomes like transportation, logistics, or administrative support are the most likely to be impacted by robots first. Optimists believe that robots and new technologies will create new jobs and industries. However, getting an education in these fields is expensive and not available to everyone. Corporate America is unapologetic about reducing labor costs. They will do anything they can to optimize revenue, and robots offer quite a few advantages over human workers for this. No wages, no unions, no 8-hour shifts. Technology singularity. Singularity is a hypothetical point in time at which technology growth becomes untraceable and irreversible, resulting in unforeseeable changes to human civilization happening in a short amount of time. According to Ben Goertzel, an AI researcher and expert founder of Singularity Net, this hypothetical event may take place in only a matter of years or a decade from now. He also reveals that current funding and development efforts for AI development come mainly from advertising and surveillance or military interests. To wind out the episode, we'll let that sink in. We are creating the first generation of smart machines capable of learning and self-improving. We're re-pouring most of the resources mainly for advertising and surveillance, not medicine, not construction, not agriculture. Advertising and surveillance. So what do you think awaits us in the future with robots? Would they surpass and dominate us, or will they make our life better? Now, you may have noticed some new lighting and vastly better audio on our last couple of videos, and we spent some money on improving our studio, especially on audio and lights, but we'll still shoot with a mirrorless photo camera. It's not a dedicated video camera. And a DSLR or mirrorless camera are both great alternatives for content like this. And you can squeeze significant video quality out of one, and there's a fantastic course on Skillshare to help you do it. Fundamentals of DSLR photography runs about an hour and a half. It goes over basics from shutter speed and aperture to useful tips and tricks, and even a studio demonstration to visually show you how these fundamentals work. You can watch this course and thousands more on design, photography, decoration, post-production for free by using the 2-month free code that the guys at Skillshare gave us for this video. Last time, the 1,000 codes that they gave us ran out in about a day, so make sure that you grab yours from the description. Thanks a lot for watching. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for a bunch more episodes of Company Forensics. We'll see you next week.